Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's bar and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too. And many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice piano string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's bar, Elena's bar. They're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's bar, Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yet controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression. So remember, you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Yeah, Elena's bar, Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Anita if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's bar, Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Elena's Vine, the resurgence of sanity. How are you doing, guys?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. Nick, how is your election going, huh?
Well,
more votes?
Never happened, but hey,
I know, right?
Somebody's got to move the Overton window. Somebody's got to do it.
I know. You've been busy posting on Twitter. I was reposting some of the stuff. Guys, vote for our Pastor Barnes, please. To be the king. Yeah, well, you proposed this topic today.
Somebody's got to do it.
I know.
What we got is total unruly crap. And
well,
destroying our civilization. So
you know what? You have the
terrible.
moral authority to do it. So why not? But you got our votes. Just tell us where to sign. We'll sign. Okay.
Votes might not be needed.
See, well, but you still have it. You still have it. Yes. Yeah, guys, welcome everyone. Today we have a very interesting topic proposed by our Pastor Buns. Why do women need a dictator to restrain them? Tell us what you think about this topic. We might bring some of the comments up. Okay. Just try to keep them relevant. And Nick, tell us why do women need a dictator, huh?
Well, first you have to understand what a dictator is.
Okay.
And of course, Steve's probably ready and able to tell us what a dictator actually is versus what's in the modern imagination. Even though the modern imagination is going to hate it no matter what you say and do, because it's hierarchy and authority and, male rule and, it's not democracy and, we can't get away with our abominations now and our usury and our nasty things they do with children. Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, what's a dictator?
The supreme leader.
Oh.
Not the Iranian supreme leader, because come on. Iran is a democratic republic. They elect the president. You have two branches, check and balances. You have the religious side and you have the secular side. So we think the supreme leader there governs everything. Not exactly. I'm not an expert on it. But they still have a secular form of government. with a religious background. So
Mm.
even that supreme leader is not the dictator that Nick is talking about.
It's not
The
a
dictator
supreme,
Nick is
that's-
talking
he's-
about is a guy who just determines everything, morality, and implements it. And maybe there's not a check and balance on a dictator, a true dictator.
like a Julius Caesar or
Yeah.
Augustus Caesar or
But Nick, I am quite impressed that you came up with this topic. When was the last time a pastor came up with a topic based on physics? I mean, this is simple physics. Well, physics is natural law.
right.
So before everybody piles on Nick, this is really Newton's third law. States that every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Mhm.
Newton's third law of motion, often called the action-reaction law, explains that a force always occurs in pairs. When one object exerts a force on another, the second object exerts an equal force in the opposite direction on the first object. These forces are equal in magnitude, but opposite in direction, and they act on different objects, which is why they do not cancel each other out. So if feminism is moving this way and it's moved way over here, okay, now you need something else to come in on the other side with greater force to move it back to the middle. So what we are talking about is simple.
You're a Hegelian.
Okay, whatever.
No, you're not. No, it's thesis, antithesis, then synthesis. Which
Yeah, I mean,
actually, what ends up happening is the liberal movement, where it never conserves anything, but always progressively goes left, and there's a reaction. They keep synthesizing away from God and His morality. But I get your concept. Doesn't mean you're
Yeah, I
an
mean-
alien, but yeah. But when somebody puts out force, there's going to be force necessary to restrain them. That's physics.
And it needs, and if you're going to move the bubble back to the middle, it takes a bigger force to move it, because you have to overcome the force push. Feminism pushes this direction.
Yeah.
The next dictator model pushes this direction. The dictator has to be stronger than the feminism to move the window.
Does Jesus need a council?
Council in what definition of that word?
Does he require a council for his decisions?
Well, not Jesus, but the church does.
Oh. So, does a king require the council for all things?
Not the King of Kings, but the earthly kings should have the council of wise men around them to advise them.
But when there's no wise men around them to advise them, doesn't that society tend to kind of crumble apart morally? Gets tied up in bureaucracy. Then some stronger force, led by a guy that doesn't really care too much about his council. He just has power and he smashes things. And things kind of go back to normal after a time.
Yeah, but if he's a wise man, he will do what's necessary and then set up the rules so it can be maintained by more humane actions. With
there's
a
time for peace, so there's a time for war.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Nick, I'm just curious. Tell us the plan. Okay, the execution.
I have no execution.
I don't know.
You know,
I
Everybody's just tiptoeing around this. I'm like, there
I
is no
know.
voting our way out. There is no legislating your way out. You have to take power and you have to grab it by the horns and don't take any prisoners. You cannot bow down to any of this filth it's so corrupted every facet of society, the family, church, and state, all the political parties, every action, everything. It's so corrupt. It has to be uprooted. And the only way to uproot that, because these people are we with the powers in place, you cannot do anything. You have to come at it not caring for the powers that are in place, because the powers that are in place have been totally subverted to destroy normalcy, to destroy the natural law. And so you have to have, as Steve was circling back to what Steve was saying, um, that's not restoring a middle. People don't even know what the middle is. Let's replace Steve's word middle for just natural law. So, natural law, the normal order of the world, has been subverted by many of these forces, some violent, some not overtly violent. A lot of bureaucracy, a lot of things snowballed over time with laws, and there's not been a sufficient force to crush it. Even Dabney predicted this in the 19th century, saying, it's Northern conservatives conserves nothing. They rage and go blah blah blah. They growl and a lot of crap, but they never actually do anything but take yesterday's, more liberal position. So nothing ever gets changed. Something has to change.
Let me explain this. Here's Nick.
Picking and choosing the right investments requires very careful handling.
Yes.
Nick.
One
Nick
wrong
shows
move
up.
Yes.
can easily damage the best laid plans. At Merrill Lynch, we know that size and strength can be very valuable. But it is our sensitivity to your investment goals and agility in helping you reach them that makes us what we are.
Okay. Next approach is the bull in the china shop. But Nick is not just going to calmly walk through.
Exactly.
No. Things are going to get rearranged.
You can't calmly walk through. That's when they take advantage of you. That's when you're the most prone to their devices. You have to uproot them before they can act against you. You got to blitzkrieg your way through.
Nick, the bull in the china shop.
Yep, I've been called that many times in my life.
Well, if it's what it takes, I mean, like, come on, like, you have to do what you have to do, It's like, I can already see the screeching ladies not enjoying what's coming for them, but it's coming either way. The more they rebel against it, the worse it's going to get for them, honestly.
Yeah, women don't like Newton's third law.
Mm-mm.
No, they don't. So our society is like a bunch of women. No, you got to do everything so gently and never upset anything. Don't hurt their feelings. You're just going to have to apologize. And by the way, we might just give you a little nudge of leadership, of responsibility, but we'll never really give you the authority to actually correct any problems in the estate of the Commonwealth or society. Oh, you mean kind of like how women are within the church and women are in the family and how, it's so tiptoe. Oh, you're just too rough and your tone of voice is just what's wrong here. Not the fact that she just spent all your money and was blowing the neighbor next door. or that your church is full of sodomites and you never make a stand for anything. Meanwhile, your neighbor just got thrown in big time jail for standing in front of a abortion clinic. Oh, but he just didn't obey the law. He's a bad man, and
Like
he
what
could have
kind of
done this in a
laws
better
also?
way.
It's like you give women
Smash it.
power. You give women power. This is what they come up with. Like they kill babies. They invite the people who destroy the country. It's just the choices that women make with power. They were never designed to have that much power that they have.
Well, that's why it takes a dictator. Men must be dictators. Doesn't mean tyrant. It means you do what is good, right, and necessary within the authority given to you. And that might ruffle some feathers, but you know what? So what?
Nick, is a king a dictator?
No, well, not a tyrant necessarily, but dictator
He's
could
not a
apply
tyrant.
as a
I'm just
political
saying
term.
dictator.
The political term dictator could apply, but you have to realize it might not be what you think it means. Because we think dictator, we think mustache man.
And it may not be practically possible. Look what happens in the UK. Well, technically, there is the royal family, right? There was a queen, and then throughout history they had kings. But like, how much could they actually do there?
That's just
Well,
because
at
they
one
didn't have enough
time,
power. You
they
have to
could
get
do a
more
lot.
power.
Well, yeah,
But if
not
the
recently.
UK, their form of government was modified. The king used to have supreme authority. He was a dictator. Okay. Was he a bad dictator? Not
Sometimes not.
most of the time, but sometimes,
Right.
yeah. So they changed it to a parliamentary system.
The constitutional monarchy.
Yeah, a constitutional monarchy with a House of Lords and a House of Commons, and introduced some representative democratic means into their form of government. So the current king of England is not a dictator.
Mhm.
He's a king in position only with limited authority. Now, maybe ultimately, behind the scenes, he actually has the authority. We don't know that, but it's clear that he's not exercising it in overt terms.
If he actually had a care for his country and wanted to safeguard his country instead of being almost like an antichrist king, yeah, I'll say that. If he could just say, I want to save my country for Christendom and, to hell with Parliament, get behind me and let's fight, I bet you he'd have over the half the country up in arms in an instant.
Oh,
If
yeah.
he wanted power, it's the way to do it. I'm just saying.
The king often had the support of the common people. And a lot of times it was in opposition of the upper class nobility.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a check and balance. So the dictator king needed to keep the people on his side. He looked out for the well-being of the people. The people supported the king to keep the nobility in check, because the nobility are the actual people that are the actual group that typically oppress others. And it was the same way in Russia. The Tsar was loved by the people, but you had the boyar class in the middle, and they were exploiting the people. I mean, I'm so overly simplifying. I'm sure someone can argue, say it really wasn't this way. Well, in detail, maybe. In practice, over time, yeah, it kind of was that way. The king and the people supported the king because the king had to look out for the well-being of the people, protect them from foreigners, protect them from exploitation, make sure they had enough food, make sure they weren't taken advantage of, because there's always forces trying to take advantage of people.
Yeah, well, I think it had its own issues too. It's related to what you guys talked about, in independence. Russia had it much later when they canceled slavery, and
Oh, you
Wait,
mean when
hold
they got rid of
on,
the
hold
Mongols?
on,
I mean when they
hold
got rid of
on.
the Mongols, the Muslims that were enslaving the Rus? Yeah, that's what was really going on.
Russia,
No.
the Tsar changed the rules of the serfs, who were essentially slaves. He freed the serfs before other countries got rid of slavery. It wasn't called
no,
slavery.
okay, we are getting. You should talk to my husband about this, because the dates show that Russia canceled it much later than US did. Yeah.
But it's kind of immaterial. It was
Yeah.
slavery was limited to a certain group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Russia oppressed a lot more, but independent. There was a big movement within the world, worldwide, to free people from oppression, and that actually
And to sign
happened.
them up for usury.
And the King of England moved that direction, and the Tsar of Russia moved that direction. Does the timing really matter? Oh, did democracy or republic get it more right than anyone else? It all happened at pretty much similar time frame. So dictators are not necessarily tyrants.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah.
And that's
Well, I
why
just checked the
guess
yeah
by the
the
way,
emancipation.
the
The
dictator of the
emancipation.
family is the husband.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what were you saying, Elena?
Yeah, the emancipation of the serfs was abolished in 1861 in Russia.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
When did Lincoln give the Emancipation Proclamation?
63, I believe. If you're wrong, I think it's 63.
I'm checking. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Abraham Lincoln on January 1st, 1863.
Okay, so it happened in Russia first.
Yeah, by a few years.
Oh, and what was going on around the same time with the what was the political influence going on that just started around that time in America, especially with some of the first wave feminists, but especially in Russia?
What are you talking about? Marxism?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. It becomes a very convenient system to give people all these so-called freedoms, but then find other ways to practically and politically enslave them.
Well, and then it's not like how much freedom is it if it's based on the feeling? I talked to my husband about feminism, and he said that it was led based on a feeling that people had for freedom.
Freedom from what?
Well, the natural order, the patriarchy, I guess.
Freedom unto, natural order, freedom from the natural order, freedom from dictators telling them what to do.
What to
Freedom
do?
from
Well, but see, and this is why I think that when you give people uh who were serfs before, when you give them too much freedom, they usually don't know what to do with it. This is why I come down to the question, like, how much freedom does a person actually need? I mean, or how much freedom is good freedom for that person, especially for women. You empower women.
nothing good happens.
Well, exactly.
It's really no different. If you free all men to do as they wish, to do as they please, you're freeing them from the natural law, the moral order. You're freeing them from the historical rules of Christendom. And average people, the normies, let's say, whether they're men or women, giving them too much freedom often does not result in the outcome you expected.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the peasants, they were so beaten down. They just had so many days off, festival days. Oh, they could spend a lot of their time fishing, and man, they had like protected hunting grounds even that the king, could not take away from them. Ability couldn't take away. It was protected and guaranteed. But they were just so beaten down. They didn't really know what freedom was. But hey, now they get to work 80 hours a week, might not even have a roof over their head, can't pay insurance, can't pay child support, can't pay this. The kids are all degenerates, but hey, we're free.
I mean, congratulations. You got what you
Congratulations.
you got
Nick,
what you wanted, huh? Or you thought you wanted.
Nick, now they have the freedom to watch porn.
Good point, Steve.
Uh,
What's more important, freedom to watch porn or having a house over your head?
well, this is where it gets kind of messed up. Is the younger guys are like, well, what would I want a house over my head for? Because they're gonna say, I sure as hell not marrying. You're gonna have my kids taken away from me just because she decided to change her mind. So
Mm-hmm.
they might choose the other option. And
Well,
don't say it's a good thing. This is kind of a nasty reality of our so-called freedom that we have when we're
I know.
enslaved on every level and we don't even realize it. But yeah, we do have some freedoms, except when you actually want to be free. Oh, you need a credit score for everything these days. So the users can control you. Oh, they can deplatform you,
I
debank you.
wonder if it's still mobility trying to impose this through institutionalized power. They are still trying to subjugate people because they are usually in charge of banks. Who
Uh-huh.
has the power. And this is why I'm going back to
It's your
history.
bourgeois nobility. It's nobility based on wealth and power combined.
They are still.
You got old money and you got new money, but it's still controlled.
It's still, yeah. They are still in power, and like I
Man,
just don't see
countries
any
are left a
precedent in history
central
where,
banking system.
like, okay, you would overturn like, okay, in the revolution, right? Now the 1917s, when we overthrew the king in Russia, right? The Tsar and his family. Like, what happened afterwards? Well, people say that, well, the good things happened. You've gained all of this freedom. But the life has become less stable.
Alana, your people didn't do that. Russia at the time had a bunch. I mean, Russia is a multi-ethnic society.
Mm-hmm.
The Rus, Russian people, ethnically Russian people, did not overthrow the Tsar. It was another group, maybe 5% of the population, that were in a position of power that rabble roused and caused this. The
You
Cossacks
should take Putin's words on
were
the
supporting
demographics
the
of that
white
group.
Russians. White Russians were the Christian Russians
Mm-hmm.
with allegiance to the Tsar. The red Russians were the Marxist,
Mm-hmm.
Menshevik and Bolshevik, and a lot of those guys wore small hats.
Hey, you don't have to take our word for that. Their own leader described the demographic of the group. Putin did.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it was well known before he ever said anything about
True. Yeah. Yeah.
it.
I just don't necessarily take the words of the leaders too seriously, you know.
If he says the sky is blue, it doesn't mean he's always wrong, right?
Well, even the okay, even the broken clock is right twice a day, guys. You know. Okay. I mean, like basically, this is why it's so hard to talk history to Russian people, because we were. Ah, God. Back when I was in school, they did actually teach us some history. We didn't focus too much on European, what was going on in Europe or elsewhere in the world, you know? So this is why it's like whenever I'm talking to you guys, and I did go to college, they did tell us about history, about the important things that were happening, right? I'm kind of like, okay, I'm lacking knowledge there, you know? I'm lacking information. But even like some things that happened, there, based on what we were taught, they didn't teach us a lot of things. Even the things that were happening in Russia, you wouldn't know them if you were inside Russia, you know,
Right.
because it's like a partly indoctrination. But I assume it wasn't as bad when I was in school in comparison to what it is now. It's just my guess, you know.
It's just as bad in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Who writes the history books?
A certain group that
No,
has ties to
there's a
Mossad.
quote. It goes to Churchill or sometime World War II or whatever. The victor writes the history book.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoever is in power writes the history.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the true history? Most often not. It's propagandized and meant to, it's their standpoint. That's why there's a movement out there called revisionist history. Okay, people coming in with a different standpoint and challenging some of the history that we've been taught to believe. Because over time, new facts come in. We can better observe things from a distance and understand what's going on. And we can see, yeah, could have been this that way, could have been this way. There's other factors. Yeah, which one is right? Well, you're going to have to make up your own mind. The commonly taught history is not necessarily accurate.
It's revisionist history. It's actually what it is.
It's what history?
It's revisionist history. That's the
Well,
scary part. If you've had these people laden down with very Marxist revisionist history and probably very foreign influenced publishers with somebody that was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Epstein lady, Maxwell, and her dad are somehow tied to some of the education books in American curriculum.
Oh,
I could be wrong, but that's what I recall.
Yeah, well, I was reading a while ago a research paper on Russian history, actually, and the dynasty of Romanovy, how it started with the Rurikid dynasty. and they couldn't agree on where Rurik came from. So the nomadic history says that he came from somewhere from Norway to impose order in the tribes, because the tribes were fighting against each other, and to unite them because they couldn't figure it out by themselves, you know. But then there is the Eastern thought, and then I think the Soviets, there was a big push to promote that narrative. They were saying that no, Rurik was actually somebody who was from inside those tribes. We didn't need anybody. Oh no, they hired him to impose order and to unite the tribes. So there were two contradicting thoughts, you know, like where he came from. So if they couldn't agree on that, like as a basic fact, I mean, yeah. And then the Soviet propaganda really promoted the narrative where they hired him from abroad. They were the ones who were the initiators. They were the ones who comprised the Kiev and Rus together, you know. Yeah,
We
and
have
I
two
know
different
for a
narratives.
fact which version our president supports.
You know what? For the sake of our discussion, the truth, who did what and where they came from, doesn't really matter. The fact is that it took a dictator, a larger force from somewhere. Where? Well, you know, it's useful to discuss that. But the simple truth is it takes a greater force to come in to reform society, change it, govern it. Could be for good, could be for not good. But it does take force to change things.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes force to train a woman.
Yeah, but wouldn't it mean that
How
by
much is another thing, and what shape is another matter. But
Nick, can't we just educate women and teach them to behave better?
no,
good luck with that?
yeah. Have you ever had a conversation with a woman where you just logically express something and you point out the core issue? There's a nail in your head, and she doesn't care. She wants to talk about all these other things and how she feels and how the nail is making her feel. I'm like, no, there is a nail in your head. You need to take it out. They don't care. You're
Yeah.
wasting your time just trying to logic
You
through
are
a
wasting your
woman.
time. My question is that with restraining women, would you also have to restrain the simps who worship women?
Probably not. Because they're going to take their cues from the other men. And once you got the women kind of in line, for however you want to say that, and the power structure is male dominated, those men are going to be ridiculed if they start advocating for women. They're going to be ignored, ridiculed. And the men who are simping are probably just pursuing the power structure. Right now, they're simping because they sense that's where the power is, in the woman, in feminism. If I serve the woman better, I'll get a piece of ass. Well, if you change the power dynamics, and if serving women doesn't get you a piece of ass, those simps are probably going to do it at a much lesser extent. So maybe they don't need to be restrained. I'm just speculating here. I don't know the answer.
Because simps in a way are the ones who are driving the crazy women. I'm wondering if they, yeah, I agree with you, they are seeking power because they think that women are the power. So if they gaslight women,
No, they're not seeking power. The simps are seeking pussy.
Yeah.
yeah, but they will, won't they be seeking pussy after you remove women from power either, or will be seeking
No,
something else in that case?
no, then they'll have pussy by virtue of just going with the flow. So they don't have to serve women under the patriarchal system in order to get access to the thing that really motivates most young men.
It's basically their effeminate men playing sneaky effort game.
Mm.
Now, they don't have to play sneaky effort game if the structure's in place. They're just going with the flow, going with the order that's in place, which
So patriarchy would
probably,
benefit the Sims too.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, stop simping. Yeah.
they're weak to begin with. It's kind of, they'd have to repent from their effeminacy.
Yeah, but even if they go with the flow, do you think well, but by then women probably wouldn't have choice, right? They would be stuck with some of those Sims.
Yeah, and they'd probably be mostly kind of happy.
With the Sims?
I guess.
Well,
Maybe some.
yes, they would, because under a patriarchal system, the simps wouldn't be as simpy as they are now.
True.
Therefore,
And
the
there's
entire system
consequences for women's
changes,
actions too.
and it's not that those simps are restraining women. It's just that the whole society has changed, so women have fewer options.
Well, that's what we need because most men they are not capable. I mean, we say that they have the innate capability to restrain women, but most men are not going to do it. They will rely on, and they still do in a way. Even Sims, they rely on their gynocentric society to like give them what they want, right? And in that case, they would be still relying on society to give them what they want.
So so women are relying on society to get them what they want.
No, the man, the Sims, they are relying right
Oh,
now
very
on
woman-like
gynocentrism.
behavior.
Huh?
That's very woman-like behavior.
Well, I agree with you. This is why I was like, are you sure women will be happy with those Sims? Well, maybe if they have few options and they were stuck.
Look, they might not be, super, super happy, but hey, when there's a hierarchy, when there's a dictator, here's the authority, and you have three checks in place. You have fathers, you have the family checks in place with father or husband. You have the church, which, by the way, if I'm dictator, I'm getting rid of all the effeminate churches and all the effeminate ministers. Gone.
Mm-hmm.
I will take over the church buildings and donate them to faithful men and faithful churches. The Pope would have to come to me to put a bishop in. And I don't want no effeminate, clergy. No. Don't care. No. So anyway, so you'll have the checks in state, church, and family. They have authority. Look, and with that authority means that women are held responsible once more for their actions. There's consequences. And when you step out of the bounds of what you're supposed to do, they experience those consequences. Life will be much harsher for these supposed free, loose, and feminist women, which end up destroying society. So, yeah, the women will be happy if they have a man that can provide, has a roof over their head, and generally leads the family.
So
Because to
Nick, under
escape that
your
would not be good.
dictatorship, would women be happier than they are right now?
Absolutely. I have no doubts on that. Oh, they might, bitch and complain and I remember the day when I could be a whore and
But women don't bitch and complain right now, do they?
Oh,
maybe
never.
it's just
Steve,
not.
what are you talking about? We just don't
And
see
this
the
conversation,
floods of women
well,
on social media whining and crying every single day, right?
but your children, look, if you raise them this way too, your children will rebel. Your girl children will rebel. Almost like that's what women tend to do is rebel. So we should evacuate frame and hierarchy and structure because they might rebel. Nah, how about
Yeah,
not? Or they might have their feelings hurt or
I don't care.
complain. No, don't
Yeah,
care.
I don't care about their feelings.
I think there's one constant. Women are going to bitch and complain.
Yep.
And under any system, they're going to bitch and complain. They're doing it now.
Yeah.
Under Nick's system, they're going to bitch and
They'll
complain.
do it again.
And is it going to be any more bitching and complaining? Not
Be at first.
necessarily. Right now, men, young men, just average men, are okay. I don't want to listen to this bitching and complaining.
Mhm.
Therefore, I'm not going to get married
It's better
because
to be in the
I don't
desert,
want to
right?
listen to this. What?
Better be in the desert, as the Proverbs say, better to be in the desert than in a house with a quarrelsome and fretful wife.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
means
or better to live on the corner of a rooftop
rooftop.
than with a contentious woman.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. You mean even in patriarchal society, women did that? Yeah.
It's kind of our nature. I mean, just saying. We're never like, okay, when we are restrained, like the paradox is that the more you are restrained and disciplined, the happier you will actually feel, ladies. Like, oh,
Even the Bible tells you about certain women you can't restrain. It's like trying to restrain or strain oil. What was it? What's that verse? Straining oil and women or something in Proverbs. I think it's like Proverbs 20. 27. Here we go. Proverbs 27, verse 16. Come on, load, you stupid thing. Well, I have a good connection. Why is it taking so long? There you go. Okay, here it says in King James Version, whoever hideth her hideth the wind, and the ointment of his right hand which betrayeth himself. Or I'll do 15 to 17 just so I get the whole thing. And there you go. Stupid computer. I have a good connection. Stop messing with me. All right. A continual dropping in a very rainy day, and a contentious woman are alike. Whosoever hideth her, hideth the wind, and the ointment of his right hand, which betrayeth himself. Makes sense? Here, I'll do it in more modernized English. Very simple English. I'll do the NIV, even though I loathe the NIV. A quarrelsome wife is like the dripping of a leaky roof in a rainstorm. Restraining her is like restraining the wind or grasping oil with the hand. You get it now? There you
Yeah.
go. So even then, there's certain women you couldn't restrain. Like nobody could do it.
And now it's just most women. You look at the culture, it's most women. You can't restrain them.
Don't bother.
This is why I keep
Don't
saying,
bother.
like, ladies, like, they say, like, they treat this restraint as, like, oh, such an abuse. I'm like, no, it's a good thing, and you are not worthy of it. Because you belong to the streets. No, like, like, why would you want men to even bother trying to restrain these women? Leave them for the streets.
So
They,
even the Bible seems to understand that you kind of need to restrain a woman in Proverbs, but there's some contentious woman you can't restrain.
oh, here is another one. Fake human shared. Nick, what do you think about
That's
this
what
one?
that's
He
what I
who
quoted.
he would restrains the wind and grasps oil with his right hand. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the one you quoted. Yeah. It's like,
takes a
ladies, you are
dictator.
not worthy. You are not worthy of restraint. Too bad.
Worthy, you're not. There are some women that are not capable of being
Being
restrained.
restrained. Well, there's a way to deal with them, and that requires a higher office than a father or husband, which even the Bible would recognize, like a magistrate, perhaps even excommunication with the church or suspension from the sacrament, saying, no, this is not okay. You're not going to keep doing this. The magistrate could put her in the, what's it called? They got her hand in her what's it called?
Pillory
They put
or
the
stockade.
pillory. Yeah, pillory, the stockade, and people kind of pass by and, you know,
Throw rotten tomatoes.
yeah. People take their kids and say, now don't be like this person, so and so.
Public shame.
But
Yes, yes.
Nick would be the man out there practicing his horsewhip skills.
Oh,
On some
wouldn't it
cases,
be
it
great?
requires
I'm
Yeah.
I
just
got the song
kidding.
stuck in my head now. No, I mean that there are, there's grades to each crime, that should be a crime these days. It might not be. That used to be crimes and used to be punished. And I'm like, oh, these sorts of gradual punishments for repeated crime or a more heinous crime kind of worked. And society got along at a sense of common shared morality and culture. And,
Well, I mean, if
yeah,
you punish the evil people,
returning to that doesn't sound so bad. We only did that for thousands of years.
yeah, I remember I talked to my husband about this, and he was saying that, well, if you, and throughout history, we used to do it, but not anymore. If you punish the evil people, eventually the number of bad people reduces, and you have somewhat a stable society.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like I still can't.
And you can't have a stable society if you don't have a shared identity and culture.
Well, if we keep inviting all of the foreigners who don't share the same culture, then I just don't see I don't see it happening. How is it going to
That's why
happen?
it takes a dictator. And that's why it takes a dictator and also in the household when you have these unwanted people in your house, you see them influencing your family in a bad way, say, no, enough of this. You're not
Yeah.
hanging out with this nasty single mom anymore. She's a bad influence. No,
You
it's
know
not
what,
happening.
guys? What really frustrates me, a lot of married men, they watch their wives showing their buttholes on the internet, using their kids on social media. You know what my dad would do? Like he had option. He didn't put us out there. It's like, no, my kids are not going to do this just so that you feel better about yourself, so that you get more veneration. Like, set your terms and like, no, you are not doing this. These are my children. But I understand they have, I understand why they don't, because they have zero legal authority. This is why women get away with it.
They'll destroy you either way. Might as well try to practice.
Might as
restraint.
well try to protect your kids and privacy and safety, It's just so sad. It's so easy for weird people to find what your kids are, even if you don't show their faces. You try to hide the fact that they are even there. Why would you do that? Why would you do this to your kids? I was saying, I made so many videos about it, guys. With women, it's just you're talking to a wall. It's useless. They also, they don't even say anything. They just keep doubling down. They just keep doing it. And you know why they keep doing it? Is because they are married to weak husbands who can't say, no, enough of this shit. You are not using my children.
Yeah, and what happened to me when I did that?
I don't know. Well, I mean, at least you tried, but it's just so broken and
too little, too late.
Yeah, and the system is set up against men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You try to do that. I'm not saying that men should, I wish they could. I wish they had the legal authority to do that and to say no to their wives. With all of this BS on social media, I keep saying to women, ladies, social media is not safe place for you and for your kids. If you choose to be a public whore and expose your butthole or expose your body parts on the internet, fine, you are an adult. You're going to suffer the consequences of your own choices. Leave your kids out of it. Leave them out of it.
Wouldn't happen.
And how successful?
Which would not happen.
How successful? Zero, Steve. Zero.
Straight to jail. Go straight to jail.
Well, this is why I'm voting, guys. I'm voting for Nick. I'm voting for Pastor Barnes to bring order into this, so that men can say, no, you are not doing this BS. You are not using my children, so that you get more likes from random strangers on the internet.
So you're
saying, just for kids' safety,
Elena, you have had no success, or virtually no success, in logically convincing women to do what they should do.
Exactly. This is why I agree 100%. Women need a dictator. Mm-hmm. Why do you think I'm so supportive of Nick's candidature here? It's like women need external forces to tell them how to behave and to impose discipline and restraint on them. They are not going to do it just because they reached that conclusion by themselves.
I don't know. Maybe we should just send the women on a journey so they can find themselves. And once they find themselves, they'll come back and they'll be fit for...
Okay, I have a recommendation. Women, ladies, those of you who want to go on a journey, go on a separate island. Yeah, go on a separate island.
Send them there.
Send them to the Middle East or back to China, or I don't know, somewhere away from the Christian culture.
Hey, I know. Let's find an island in the Caribbean.
You really want to send them there?
We'll call it the Amazon Island. And then the women who move there can be the Amazonians. And the simps who want to serve the Amazonians,
they can go with.
It won't last more than 7 years.
Well, they actually did some field studies where they sent out women on separate islands. I think I shared with you guys the data on that a while ago, like two years ago, I think. Yeah, they did do these experiments where men were sent to their own island, women were sent to a separate island, and what was happening? I I'm telling you one thing right now. I don't want to end up on the women's island.
Yeah, on one island, the group ended up with roofs over their head and food to eat. On the other island, you ended up with wet people huddling under the drizzle, starving.
Yeah, I don't want
I
to be
leave
on,
it to
on
you to
that
figure out
island.
which was which.
I know, right? It's kind of easy to figure out. And then what they had to do in some of those, there were a bunch of countries they were doing these experiments. I think I watched the one where the UK was doing it. So they had to send after a few, like after 3 weeks or so. I don't remember the time specifics, guys, but after some time, so they gave both of these groups time to figure things out. So men immediately found water. They found, started building houses, shelter, like all of the civilized things, you know,
Makes
that we
sense.
rely on to survive. You know, like women on the other hand, what did they do? The first thing they were like, oh, let's go sunbathing, you know, and then they got beat by the insects. They got hungry. They didn't find any water. They were dehydrated. Women were in a very bad condition. So what they did, they sent a couple of men. They sent like 2 or 3 guys to the female group, and within a week, their houses were built. Well, from whatever they could build, you know. The water was found. Basically to rescue the women. A few men to rescue the entire group. I don't know, like 20 people, 20 women there. And then send them, these men out of the islands. So the men spend there like for a week, and then they send them out. There was an experiment, guys. I did share it with you. You can watch it. It's like a long video. I actually did watch the whole thing, you know. Then after a week, they send those men away after they built the things for women. What happened in a few months again, or like in a few weeks? Do you think women maintained any of that infrastructure that men built for them?
No.
So they came back to that island. Women were again beaten and like dehydrated, having cramps and like all of that stuff. Yeah. Women can't survive, especially in this island. We are used to the technology now here, you know. So we say, well, women could survive like for a few months, but if they are on an island,
technology?
Yeah, with all of the technology, all of the infrastructure that men have built and men have maintained for you. Okay, let's just like, okay, hypothetically, if we remove all men, how long women will be able to survive here? Well, maybe a few months. Okay, with all of the maybe even less than
optimistic
that. I'm very optimistic, guys. Yes. Much less than
I'd
that.
say it wouldn't go a week. It wouldn't last.
Yeah, I would say so too. Yeah. It wouldn't last a week. Like all of the Amazon shipments, ladies, that you buy from Amazon, like who would deliver your shit?
Yeah, and that grocery store that you buy the food from. Do you know who works in the warehouse to load the truck? Man. Do you know who drives the truck to the grocery store? A man. Do you know who receives the groceries at the store?
A man.
90% of the time, it's a man and stocks the shelves. So you remove all men, all of a sudden your grocery store is empty. And you're not going to get your Amazon packages delivered because that's usually a man delivering it. Gas station. Yeah, it's a tanker driver who's a man. The refiner workers are men. The roughnecks who drill the wells are men. The pipeliners who build the pipes are men.
The people on ships are mostly men. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So the idea is you remove men for a few days, and you see the collapse, like the total collapse of everything. And then you remove women. Like, I wondered just like how many men have been doing it for so many years already, especially the so-called involuntary celibate men. You know, they've been living without women for decades, for many years.
And they're probably better off.
Oh, definitely. Less stress. Less anxiety, you know, and all of the BS associated with women.
But it's
Yeah.
not
Okay.
only that, they're not even looking anymore. So, anyways, yeah. Steve's trying to
Okay,
get us back on topic.
We've rambled enough. Elena has a video she wants to share. I think this would be a good
Oh.
time to move into like part 2.
Now,
And
part
then she
two-
has some other videos that she
yes.
wants to show to comment on. So, yeah, okay, we're gonna have some more
Fun.
fun.
Okay, so
but
what
of
do
a
you
different type?
what do you want to do first? Do you want to watch my video that I made, or do you want to watch the crazy people?
No, I want to watch your video.
Okay, let's do it. So this is a new Red Pill song, guys. I'm just going to move us here for a second so we can. All around the walls want a serving husband who would give up his authority. He would adore, cherish, worship, serve her, despite her mean low quality. Or say they want their man to lead them, but first he must ask her where to go. She is in charge and she lets him lead her while he is feeling so strong. Oh, husband who serves her, he is one of her slaves. He should spank her or leave her, but he has no frame. After he marries her, she terminates him. She has no sex, no respect for him. She puts your ass on her Insta page for other men to see. Soon she has kids with her serving husband, assuming these are his kids at all. She makes decisions while he supports her, using his kids for the show. Husband who serves you while she wrecks your family. He should spank you or leave you to preserve his frame. He can't say no to his wife and children. Can't he impose any discipline? She and his kids become feral creatures. He has no legal authority. Soon she decides she no longer loves him. She goes online and gets stuffed by chance. Now through divorce she kidnaps his children while he's financially raped. Oh, husband who serves her, now he is so depressed. It is time to rebuild him after the red pill rage. Soon Red Pill tells him you're not alone here. All of us have been destroyed by them. Now it's your time to regain your frame back and say, oh, horse, adios, adios. 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 There you go.
Good job. Is that how you really feel?
Sure. Yeah. I really like the music from The Sound of Music. There is another song. There is one more song that I have in mind, guys. I came up with lyrics yesterday for that song. Yeah, but I've covered most of them, you know. I mean, I've transcribed them. And
Elena has a talent
Did a good job.
for taking music from the 50s or 60s in musicals, which is very catchy tunes, and putting new words to them. I enjoy it.
well, I'm glad you did. I showed it to my husband. He liked that one. Yeah, he said that was, and the number of words matched to the tune. I did have to adjust a few things there, but just so that I could say the things I wanted to say. But yeah. Well, anyway, if you have more videos, guys, I have my bullshit folder on Instagram. Let's look into it. There is a lot, and it never ends.
That's why periodically she needs to pump out her bullshit folder, or it overflows.
Yeah, right. And anyway, okay. So here we have lawyers. We have female relationship gurus that give advice. Okay. Then we have this guy who all he does is just like he criticizes feminism, and there are some guys who keep sending me his videos. They are so repetitive and so annoying, and honestly he doesn't promote any solution. He's just saying that feminism is so evil, feminism is so bad, we need more mothers. I did leave him a few comments saying that promoting motherhood in the current state is promoting more single mothers, more broken households, and harlots and criminals.
So are you going to play his video so we can watch it too?
Yes, we can watch it. Okay, let's do this. I wonder, okay, there was another one by him that he did earlier. Hold on. I think he did it earlier. Oh, okay, it's way too... okay, maybe that was it. Okay, let's watch that one, and then I'll try to find another one. I reacted to... okay, so here, two of his videos, yes.
Behind feminism, fear. Behind every feminist is a fear of pain, risk, accountability, relationships, responsibility, submission, and motherhood. The feminist solution to fear is control. They control their lives by remaining single or avoiding masculine men. They control their income by chasing career instead of resting in provision. They control their pregnancies through birth control and abortions. They control their mood through hormones and antidepressants and endless therapy. The problem is that when you optimize harm reduction long enough, you ultimately end up single, childless, medicated, but safe. Recent research shows that between 1980 and 2024, conservative white women have consistently married and had children. But liberal white women went from 1 child in 1980 to 0.51 children per woman in 2024. That's a 50% drop and officially makes them a self-eliminating group. Now, why does this matter? Feminism, like homosexuality, leads to reproductive death. It's a form of ideological sterilization. You are so opposed to God's design for humanity that you live a life that leads to your own genetic extinction. Ultimately, feminism, like homosexuality, is a death cult. So when you hear a feminist talk about liberation, you now know what they're talking about. They're being liberated from a meaningful life, the joys of marriage and motherhood, and ultimately the liberation from their own lineage. What's the central driver behind feminism?
Yeah. I don't see anything really wrong with what he was saying.
Well, I agree, and there are things I agree with when they talk about feminism, how evil it is, and how much harm it causes. But the problem is also he's comparing, if you noticed, he's comparing the liberal women versus conservative women, and conservative women, they give birth to children, right?
I don't know. Did he use the term conservative?
He did use in the line on the chart, the conservative women are unlike liberal. I can scroll back. Hold on, let me.
No, I mean, yeah,
Fear
okay.
behind.
He said the liberal women birth rate is lower.
Yes.
And it is. That doesn't mean everything is rosy with the quote traditional unquote women.
Oh, exactly.
He defined the problem, but he said nothing about the solution.
Well, and this is
Okay,
where
great. We all know what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
So your frustration is, okay, what's your solution? And he didn't give one.
Well,
I
and
have
see,
a
and also the
solution.
comment I left him here, a lot of reformed harlots, prior feminists, would become tradcon female artists to get marriage and kids from traditional men. In the current system, marriage and kids give all women more power and leverage over men, the ultimate slavery of men. After all, feminism is just the symptom of unrestrained female nature, and they don't talk about unrestrained female nature. I think we are the only ones, honestly, guys. Well, maybe there are a few more content creators who are talking about feminism as unrestrained female nature, as the symptom of unrestrained female nature. And so the solution would be restraining women, and I haven't heard any of that. So I haven't heard how he was going to restrain women to conquer feminism. Or maybe, like most conservative, he doesn't really want to restrain women.
I don't know. He didn't really say either way. He, what I get the understanding is he kind of takes the Jeremy Boring Michael Knowles, just he's for patriarchy, he doesn't think women should rule. That's great things. I tend to like the guy. But it's this idea that, because a man embraces these ideals, that they will come, that everything's going to be hunky dory, that she won't leave him. She may not. And it's terrible if he has a bunch of kids and she leaves him. Ask me how I know. Ask how Steve knows. Patriarchal guys. Okay.
Well, and see, without the dictator and without men having
to change the system.
Exactly. Without men having the legal authority over their women are going to pop up kids. If she's done with liberal BS, she's going to put a new mask on, and you guys talked about it, the mask she wears, and then the morality of lipstick on a pig live streams that you could watch if you want to dive into this topic, guys. I'm just telling to the audience here. But we've talked about this, and then like all of these, like, okay, this is why I have a problem with people who are just trashing feminism, because I realize, like, yes, the damage is immense, and it's like in some ways irreversible, because we can't undo the hormonal birth control, we can't undo the sexual revolution and all of that, we can't undo internet is not going anywhere, right? And the solutions, this is where I'm like, okay, but if you don't, in order to come to the solution that, okay, if we want the problem solved, we need to start restraining women, you need to first acknowledge that women are the problem. But when you are too busy pointing the finger at the third party feminism here, which allows women to get away with their BS, to transition from their promiscuous past into being a proper Christian traditional conservative woman, half of these trad wives, like they are essentially doing a very provocative content on social media, showing their pregnant bellies, like, oh yeah, we are promoting motherhood, they are using their kids, they are still in power. The laws are the same for everyone.
That's all true. But now I'm going to give you some critique. You are evaluating what he says according to your current understanding. Now, remember, how long have we been streaming together? About a year and a half?
2 years or over.
2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
it's been a while.
We started out defining the problem, talking about the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, privately, we would joke around at restraint, discipline, and spanking. Oh, yeah, we didn't touch that for a long time. Finally, we got to the point where hey, let's just do that.
Talk about it.
Let's
Yeah.
let's
just do
let's
it, yeah.
propose the solution. Let's talk about it and let's say this. And it was a little bit scary to advocate this restraint, discipline, spanking model because we would think people would think we were over the edge. We would be demonized.
Well, some
Actually,
still
we
do.
weren't.
Yeah, I just don't care.
Some still do. But
Mhm,
it takes a long time and it's a progression to get from
mhm.
talking about the problem to realizing, damn, the only solution is some type of force.
Yeah.
And it's imposing natural order and consequences and accountability. That's the only thing. Nothing else works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He just has not gotten there. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But I can't really fault him because in some ways we're at the bleeding edge of talking about these issues. Hopefully other people will follow. If not, that's up to them.
Well, I'm surprised that so few people do follow because this is only biblical, right? You need to restrain your woman, and it takes a village to restrain a woman, a village of men.
That's not
And
true.
We've been
It takes Nick's army because he's a dictator.
well. Army
Nick
is a
needs
village,
an army
no?
to restrain women.
Well, I mean,
The village won't do it.
yeah.
There's no bottom-up solution. I'm sorry, guys. There's no grassroots solution. That's been tried and failed. The big boys up top know what they're doing, and they want to keep society the way they want to keep society and effectively destroy it to build something in their own image, which is an abomination. So you gotta take them out.
Well, and I see also these
You gotta
ideas.
put them before a judge and say, nope. Try them with natural law and say broke these rules. Oh, Nuremberg, but we can't be Nuremberg ourselves, can we? Okay.
Yeah. There should be consequences to their actions, and so far, all I've seen from ThreadCon sphere, so far, they all point out that feminism is the problem, okay, but they still think that if a woman repents or if she decides to convert, she deserves a second chance. She deserves a bailout. She deserves to be wiped up by usually a traditional man who will do that. So they're in a way selling men a dream that, well, and if women virtue signal, what does it do to women? Okay, like when they say, well, let's just venerate mothers, let's just venerate the women, the traditional, the virtuous, the godly women, right? Women are like, okay, I'm going to lie through the teeth about my body count because nobody, even if I say the truth, nobody would believe it anyway. And they would be right to do so. So they say, well, I like Sarah Stock, I have 0 body count, and then she got wiped up by a decent traditional conservative man, right? And like this is their jail-free card. There are no consequences. They don't want to suffer the consequences. And then they want women to be able to avoid accountability for their actions. So if she's a run-through horse, she belongs to the streets. Nobody should touch her, okay? But no, she says that she is a traditional conservative woman now, and we all should trust her. She deserves a good husband. She deserves a family. She deserves children now. So it is selling dreams. And then they also say that, well, if a woman virtue signals, then she's a unicorn, right? We must trust her. Not all women are like that, right? Just look for a better woman and you'll find one. But guys, I'm telling you, even the decent ones, especially the good ones, they need to be restrained. They need to be disciplined too. It applies to all women, regardless of how undisciplined and feral they are. It's just the degree, and I think we did the formula even a while ago, where we were showing you the degree of dominance and force required to restrain will vary depending on her backgrounds, but she still needs to be restrained and disciplined.
So a woman who has discovered the error of her ways through consequences and now knows better. And so we shouldn't trust that she is now governed by logic and reason and will be a good woman.
I wouldn't. Like, you guys know. Yeah. Today she's not cramping as much, so you might instill some logic into her. Tomorrow she's on her cycle, and then like all of that logic, all of those prior discussions, they are down the drain. Nothing matters. They shouldn't be taken seriously.
Her decision to change and wear a different mask didn't change her nature.
No, it can't. Women are what women are. They are going to do this. And this is why when he brought up that graph to show the distinction between, how virtuous and awesome the traditional conservative women are in comparison to the feminists, I rolled my eyes, because I see all women, they have the same female nature regardless of the mask that they are wearing. The traditional conservative women just happen to wear a sneakier mask to hide who they are. And it works.
Church is full of them.
All of this, I need a series, guys. Reformed 3 or 4 on OnlyFans. Now she is preaching in the OPC church. Yeah. Tacticus here says, funny how daughters that have fathers that use a shoe to spank them, they behave differently, it seems. Yeah.
It might just be a coincidence.
I don't think so, Steve. Like I said, my dad used to belt on me a couple of times. It worked. I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm a better human for it. I did something wrong. I got punished for it. Didn't kill me. I'm still here. Your crown won't. Well, I mean, yeah, your crown might fall actually. Like with the more punishment that women get. But this is good for you. Yeah. Well, let's watch another one. This is his first video that I've watched. Well, he obviously has a lot of videos that you can check there. It's just the one that I saw that somebody said.
Every nation that has embraced large-scale female leadership, whether prime ministers, presidents, governors, or judges,
I'll restart it. Sorry.
Civilizations fall. Look around the West today. Every nation that has embraced large-scale female leadership, whether prime ministers, presidents, governors, or judges, has accelerated down the path of suicidal immigration, skyrocketing crime, economic weakness, and civilizational decline. The pattern is undeniable. The Bible is not silent on this either. Scripture condemns women ruling over men as a sign of judgment. And when Christ established the foundation of his church and the pattern for leadership, he deliberately chose 12 men. Feminism is nothing more than the reversal of God's design for order among the sexes. Feminism places women in roles that demand a level of cold justice, impartial judgment, and low emotional reactivity, qualities the Bible says are the normative strengths of men. Women, on the other hand, are designed for compassion, agreeableness, and nurturing. But when women are put into positions of power, they cannot separate their nature from their duty. And as a result, borders are opened up out of empathy, laws are weakened out of compassion, convictions are labeled harsh out of tolerance, and meritocracies are replaced by DEI policies out of a desire for equality and harmony. Feminism is not progress, it's regress. Extracting feminism from America will be like extracting a tooth without Novocaine. Women will cry, weak men will yell, but the tooth is rotten and it's making everything else sick. It must be removed. We must go back to God's order so that our nation can heal. When women rule, civilizations fall.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
majorly
thought it was
agree
a
with
great
him.
video.
I think,
I thought it
yeah,
was a
it's a
great
good
video.
one. It is a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other ones were, I thought there was another one where, okay, here. Bullshit. Okay. Well, let's watch this lady. Okay, you know her. We've watched some of her stuff before. She is selling here how to attract a deeply feminine woman.
Gee,
Oh,
should I take notes?
You could.
don't bother.
There will
Don't
be so
bother.
much wisdom, you know? Here. Well, okay, guys. So, I don't even know where to begin. Anyway, well, let's
Well,
watch.
that's what is it to to attract or arouse? That's the question.
Yeah, well, I said that the right woman doesn't exist, and all women have the same female nature. You know, like the red pill. They are trying to grift and sell Navalt to men. Navalt, if you just search for the right woman, she will be there for you. Yeah. Well, and here she says,
More unicorns than you think.
I know, right? Most men remember that video that I did share with you, 4 categories of women. It still proves to be right, guys, based on what we see now. And the unicorns, they are not assigned by simps and by themselves. They are assigned by dominant rational masculine men. So yeah, good luck with that. So most men are repelling feminine women without knowing it. And notice how she's now criticizing men for, okay, it's not about looks, money, or status. It's about energy. Oh, now we found energy.
We're in the mystic realm.
I know, right? And most
Get your chakras out.
well, and this is what they sell, you know, like feminine energy. I called it I called it neo-feminism bullcrap. But anyway, so here, and most men have never been taught how to hold theirs, you know. So now she's going to teach you how to hold your energy. So stop seeking your approval. Okay. A feminine woman is drawn to a man rooted in himself. It's a woman speaking. The moment you
So is she
need
talking about frame and calling it energy?
energy as frame, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I wouldn't. Yeah. Well, let's look into it. Okay. A feminine woman is drawn to a man rooted in himself. The moment you need her validation, you lose your magnetic pull. It's all about like magical thinking. Do you remember that Magic Dot live stream that you did? Kind of has similar vibe here. Lead from certainty, not from need. Okay, so she tells men how to lead, how they are supposed to be masculine. Okay, this is like the idea. Yeah, then cultivate your direction and purpose. She wants to surrender to a man with a mission. When you are consumed by your purpose, she feels safe to be fully in her feminine. Your drive awakens her softness. Okay, Nick, you kind of did it to your ex, right? Did she surrender to your purpose and to your mission?
No, she never did. She never did.
Well, and see, like she's selling men that this unicorn, this submissive woman exists as if most women are submissive and they're just looking for the right type of man to be worthy of their submission.
No, avoid them. You owe them nothing. You'll never be worthy enough. And the older they get, the more picky they will get. Just fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but it gives men the false idea that these women exist, you know?
Well, it's also giving men that they need to find desire purpose to get a woman.
Sorry, Nick, you
So
are
instead of having-
disappearing. I can't hear you well.
It's also assuming that they need to get their desire and purpose from a woman, or the thought of pursuing a to getting a woman, and of having their own purpose and desire outside of thinking about, I need to find the right feminine woman. I mean, guys do think that, but you just have your own purpose and desires, and that's true. Have your own frame, but like,
Don't expect
Nah,
her to immediately
don't-
surrender, right? To
it's kind of a form of they're getting the cart before the horse.
Mhm.
So they're and so look, frame is more important than the woman.
Mhm.
Without frame, you won't keep her, as Plutarch says. But with frame, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah. And then hold the tension. Don't collapse it. Well, it's kind of like dread game. She basically repackages the red pill stuff, what the guys in the red pill have been saying for many decades, without giving any credit. This is what I noticed with these female gurus. They don't want men to learn from the source. They don't want men to learn from other men. They want to be the source. They want to be the ones who came up with all of these ideas. All she did was rebranding things from some of the things that the red pill guys have said before. I'm just calling it out because I'm sick and tired of this BS. Ladies, when you borrow somebody's ideas, give credit to the people you borrowed it from. And also, it's not your job, it's not your place to tell men how to be men. The best you can do is refer men to listen to other men if you actually want dominant, masculine men. They're not supposed to listen to you. Well, and then here.
Okay, what's the next one? Or read that
Step
one
3
first.
here, hold the tension, don't collapse it. Polarity lives in the space between masculine and feminine. When you match your energy or over explain, that tension dissolves. Stay grounded, let her come to you.
It's kind of like hold your frame, but it's in
Yeah.
it's in esoteric language.
Yeah. Well, female language, you know. She
Okay, what's
has-
the next one?
Okay.
What's rule 4 or step 4? I can't wait.
You can't wait. Okay, so here, step 4: be safe. Be a safe place for her softness. A feminine woman will only fully open to a man she trusts. Well, and see, okay, the previous points in comparison, okay, the previous point was somewhat okay. You just hold the frame, hold the tension, right? And here, be a safe place for her to open up. So that she trust is built. The trust is built through consistency, calm presence, and your ability to lead, even when things feel uncertain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Can I put this in male speak?
Yes.
Absolutely hold her accountable. And don't let up on that. But still, even when she's accountable and did wrong, that doesn't let her know that you still love her. Your love for her is not conditional on her perfection. But don't let her off the hook. Yeah, I'm really angry with you, but I still love you. But now we're going to talk about this issue here. You're still safe because I love you, but we got to talk about this issue. To me, that means a safe space. To women, oh no, don't talk about my issues or anything. Just love me anyway. Bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this is what she says here. A feminine woman will only fully open to a man she trusts, so he has to embrace her the way she is without imposing any discipline and restraint, without holding her accountable. And then like
She's
she
saying,
she says that you are allowed to lead, but only where I let you go.
yeah, okay.
This
Don't
woman
listen to
speak.
what women are saying
This
in
is
their
Well-
words.
Exactly.
She's
I
kind of
know
going
that,
in
but
the
this
right
is why
direction.
this is why women should never give advice, especially like this specific advice to men, because like they see how she twisted it from the female perspective and how she added her own spin to it. That this message is not the same, the one that you are saying, Steve.
It's not yes, it is the same.
Josh.
It's just expressed by a woman or expressed by a man.
Yeah,
and a
but
woman
it doesn't.
can never really express it correctly.
She
But she
cannot
kind of
express
gets
it correctly.
close. But so
No,
don't
not
listen.
even
Don't
close.
listen to
Not
her.
even close. You listen to her. You just embrace her the way she is. You don't hold her accountable. You listen to you. You listen to men. You say yes, hold her accountable. Yes,
You're
you know.
stuck. You are analyzing the words.
I'm analyzing how men are going to take when they follow your advice, how they are going to take. Most men, they will look at it and they say, well, okay, I need to embrace her fully. I can't impose any discipline, any restraint on her, but I can lead her where she allows me to go. And here you are, you get simps. You get simps from this message.
Okay, I agree. So for a man, listen to her emotions. What does she say she wants? A safe place to feel her softness. What's a woman's greatest desire? To be loved. Okay, so she wants a place where she can be loved. Okay, you can provide that. Fine. That doesn't mean you don't have to hold her accountable. So she's got kind of the right direction she wants to go. She just doesn't comprehend or doesn't have the words to describe it, because there's discipline that goes into this soft place where she will be loved. You can discipline a woman and provide boundaries and consequences and all that, and still love. And that will, if a woman experiences that, she'll go, oh, okay, this is good.
Well, the problem with female content creators is they all barge in, especially once they get wifed up. I swear, like the status and the self-worth and self-importance that they have, it just rises through the roof. And then now they are all licensed to give men and women advice on how to relationship, on how to be married, how to be the perfect wife, the perfect husband, all of that crap, without spending time analyzing female male behavior. She's not the only female content creator who does it. My frustration with female content creators in particular is, ladies, you spend zero time analyzing what the red pill guys have been saying for many years. How do I know this? Based on the stuff you post, okay? Instead of referring men, at least have the humility to say, you know what? I may not be the expert in this field. I should probably refer men to listen to other men because I'm a woman. I've been in the red pill for a few years, and even I don't reserve the right to say these kinds of things, like to tell men specifically how to be a dominant masculine man, because I know it's not my place to tell men how to be men.
Okay, here's a perfect example. You listen to what Elena just said, her problem with female content creators. And all those words, I'll just sum it up. Elena's problem with female content creators is they're female.
Oh.
Well, you know what? I'm not against all female content creators. There are a few who actually are doing decent job. Just stay away from giving men advice on how to be masculine men. And I have zero problem with you ladies. I promise. Talk about other things. You can even say to women, ladies, don't fuck around, okay? I give you my 100% permission and support. Tell other women how not to be whores, how not to fuck around, please. how to keep their legs shut instead of criticizing men and saying men are not supposed to like that crazy chick that we were dealing with. Nick, do you remember on Twitter? Yeah, I told you. Well, she was saying that, well, men shouldn't be fucking these young women if they don't want women to be whores. I did tell her, like, okay, why don't you tell women to keep their legs shut? Oh, you don't want to do that, right? Because talking to women is such a rewarding job, right? Nobody even cares, nobody even listens, but it's not your place to tell men how to be masculine men. You are a woman.
It's always somebody else's fault, isn't it?
I know, it's so easy to blame, to shift the blame. This is why I have problem with people shifting the blame in general, even blaming feminism for everything, because this completely absolves women from their accountability. It allows women even to say, all of these reformed Christian traditional women, I'm no longer that. I'm not a feminist. I want to be a wife. I want to have kids. I want to have a family. Okay,
No
the next
consequences.
one is the right woman is waiting for a man who knows himself.
Okay, well, hold on.
Oh boy, they're waiting in line.
Scroll back to the very start of that.
The very first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
How to deeply attract a feminine woman.
Uh-huh. How to attract it
Elena.
deeply. Uh-huh.
Okay, so Elena should do her lesson. How to rule over a deeply feminine woman.
I thought we already did that.
Yeah. Well, step 1
Spanky.
would be spank her. Step 2 would be refer to step 1.
Okay. Well, is there a step 3?
No, it's a 2-step plan.
Stop jumping to conclusions.
Oh, jeez. I will do it. You know what? I will do it. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. And look, some of the stuff the videos she makes, I don't hate her personally. It's just like every time women do these kinds of advice for men, I'm having issues with it. Seriously, ladies.
Oh, it's because they're a woman, right?
Well, they are a woman, Nick. Okay, if a woman gives advice to a woman and says, like, ladies, keep your legs closed, don't fuck around, okay? Fine. You know, I have no problem with that kind of advice. But the problem is that they don't. They want to preach morality. They want to preach masculinity to men. I know that giving advice to women is not as rewarding. Most likely you'll have 0 audience and women won't even listen to you. Maybe some will. But there are a couple of women who are trying to talk to women. Jedediah Bila is doing a pretty good job there.
Except when you don't like what she says.
Well, except like when she pushes like marriage and like
she's a woman.
Marriage and motherhood. It's like under the current law, they don't realize that like under the current law promoting marriage and motherhood. Even Rachel Wilson, I love Rachel Wilson, but like, look, you have to address the law. You have to give men the legal authority over their women, because before doing that, if you even succeed in promoting marriage and having kids, these kids are going to be raised by single mothers, either with the fathers in place who are just simps and who have no legal authority and they can't say no to their kids, or the mothers will eventually divorce the fathers.
Take a wider view. Meaning, those women are doing good. Because by discussing it, they're expanding the Overton window. And the ability to discuss this among people and not be chastised for it. Just, oh, they can discuss that. You know, I've been thinking about that. So the first thing is get people to understand, okay, this is the problem. We can talk about it. So now you've moved that Overton window. Oh, it's acceptable to talk about it. That is immense because you cannot provide a solution until people are ready for the solution.
Yeah, I know.
You
Please,
cannot
ladies,
solve
start
their
talking.
problems until they understand there's a problem.
Yes, start talking, everyone, please. Start talking about restraining women.
We'll get there. First,
Yeah, I
that's the
can't
solution. Hey, Elena, restraining women is a solution.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it what we want?
Problem,
It's a nice
yes,
praxeology.
but the problem is women are out of control.
Yes, this is why they need more restraints.
And men are weak. Okay, that's the problem. Women are out of control and men are weak.
Mm-hmm.
Get people to understand that and let other people promote that. And then you are there to say, yes, men need to be stronger and have frame. And men need to discipline their women and use restraint and force.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you're providing the solution, but you are ahead of the curve. You are ahead of where the general populace is. They'll get there. You can keep doing what you're doing, but you're out in front, and don't expect everyone to follow you until they catch up and accept that there's a problem first.
Mm-hmm. The problem is unrestrained female nature. It always has been. And see, this is why when they just say that feminism is bad and it caused so much harm, all of that, blah blah blah, the laws changed to support women, to empower women at some point in history. Without those laws, feminism would have died. Feminism was just a feeling, the feeling of independence, the feeling of like, oh yes, empowerment sounded cool. It would have died if it was just the feeling without the support of the structure, the laws that enable it, and then that empower women. What ruined families is not actually feminism is just a symptom. What ruined families is gynocentrism, where women are in power, they are in charge of the institutions, and the family law that pays her to basically destroy her own family. This is what ruined families. Address those two issues, like remove women from power seats and address the family law. The solution, it will be solved. At least the divorce rates will decline. Look what happens to the states that implemented 50-50 custody. At least it's a good start. I would still fight for 100% custody going to the man, because kids are always more stable with the man.
It takes a dictator.
Yeah. Okay, we have a question here from Bare Minimum. A female woman that wears trousers. I wear trousers. I wear leggings all the time. I think this is where, it's all superficial. If you are paying attention to only how she dresses, this is how the TradCon chicks bamboozle you, gentlemen, because you pay attention only to the visual attributes. Yes, she removes your hula hoop earrings, she removes your nose ring, she removes your fake nails, your fake eyelashes, all of that stuff, because she knows that men are talking about it and men don't like it.
Oh yes,
I'll push
a
back
woman.
here.
But the nature remains the same.
What looks better on a woman, trousers or a dress?
Well, obviously a dress, but
There you go. That's
Don't
point
assume
one. That's all.
that a woman wearing a sundress in her backyard is more feminine than a
Exactly.
woman
True.
wearing blue jeans in the garden.
True.
Yeah.
It's in context. Yeah, should a woman be able to wear a dress and look feminine? Absolutely. But there are a lot of women under certain circumstances that can wear jeans or trousers or whatever and look great for the purpose. Now, will I vote for Kamala Harris wearing a pantsuit? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
A pantsuit is an abomination. What do you think, Nick?
It's gross. It's ugly. Basically, you're just trying to dress up in the garb of a man to be equal to a man. And nobody's buying it. You've just unsexed yourself. But
Well,
the cucks
true,
tend to
but
like that for some reason. I don't know.
I think we are going like from one extreme to the next. Okay, so when we say,
No,
well,
not an extreme. No, it's not an extreme. It's
Well,
normal.
I understand that it's normal, but I also realize the psychology of people, how women are going to take it. You know, they're going to take it to
Doesn't
the
matter
extreme.
how
You
they're
say,
gonna take it.
well,
Doesn't
okay,
matter.
Nick, you
Women
say
are
you don't
gonna
want
put on a
women to
mask.
wear
They're always gonna
trousers.
put on a mask.
They put a mask on,
They're always gonna
exactly.
do that. They're all, but still, dress looks better.
Okay. Well, if you are
But they're always
rational
gonna
to
fake it,
differentiate
sure.
between the two, if you can separate and say, well, okay, it's just her dress, it's the camouflage that she's wearing, she's still an entitled, delusional, and rebellious woman, even with the dress.
Oh, you
Then-
Could be.
first wave feminists? Man.
It could be. I mean, the garb does not define the person wearing the garb.
Mm-hmm.
It gives an indication. It could be a fake, could be an act. You have to know the woman. Observe her behavior in all circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then he says the costume says a lot about what's inside.
No,
No. Yeah.
Could not.
no. What is inside says a lot about the clothes she chooses to wear.
There you go.
It's really the opposite. Now that may seem like a subtle difference, but I would say it's an important difference.
Well, it's like
Because a
piercing and
lot of
tattoos,
women,
too.
when they want to appear traditional, will go out and shop and put on a pretty dress.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll just appear different. Did they change anything? No.
The brain is still the same. The behavior is still the same. They might have adjusted a few things in terms of how they say and how they present themselves, but this is where usually men, this is why I recommend you to watch Anita's series, guys, because I really tell you the manipulations that women use to bamboozle you. You know, all of this is just a camouflage. It's a camouflage. Without the patriarchy, without the social order, there are no traditional women. Without men imposing discipline and restraint on women, no traditional women out there. Especially on social media, the ones who are it's just okay. Let's say the feminists, the OnlyFans girls, right? They have Sims audience. They put in their semi-naked pictures, videos, right? They are selling their bodies. The traditional conservative women, the trad wives, are selling their families, they are selling their kids, they're selling their husbands to get the same validation, attention, and even money in a lot of cases. It's just different target audience, similar goal. All of them are attention-seeking whores. This is what unites them. But different approaches, same motivation.
Hey, Nick, there's another one, bare minimum. Was back from a little while ago. Can you address this? No being can hold
Sure.
another accountable. Perhaps you think you are God. Okay, he could be talking about me. He could be talking about
I
you.
don't know.
But I'll let you speak
Well,
for
look.
me.
Well, look, you get a speeding ticket. You're gonna have to show up to court. Otherwise, there's a warrant that goes out for your arrest, and you're held accountable by spending some time in jail. Okay, well, your wife sleeps with another man. Well, part of that accountability is, well, A, she's going to have to answer to God, and B, well, you probably should divorce her, and there should be consequences that happen. Okay, let's say somebody invades your house. Are they going to be held accountable? Well, if you don't try to hold them accountable, well, bad things might happen to your family, let alone your stuff. Hey, and somehow if they get away and they get, you know, taken into jail, and they're going to hopefully be held accountable by a judge. I don't know. There's accountability if you don't pay your taxes. There's accountability if you invade another nation. I mean,
Hey,
the
okay.
church
I don't
should
like your answer. It's too
hold people to an
long-winded, Nick.
account. It is long-winded. I'm just trying to think of examples of
Okay,
accountability.
so
Yeah,
bare
here you go.
minimum.
Well,
Do you have a job? Oh, yes. Does your boss hold you accountable for doing your job? Can he take disciplinary measures? Okay, depending on your role. You know, I'm a truck driver. I have been sent home for a day for driving too fast through the yard. I was accountable. I did wrong. I was held accountable. Oh, in my current job. Okay, yeah, I kind of screwed that one up. Okay, we're going to write you up. We're going to note this. Goes in your file. Great. Okay. Yep, I screwed up. My license expired and I didn't tell them. Okay. And it stays in there for 6 months and then it goes away. If I have too many of those within 6 months, well, they can fire my ass. Okay. He's holding me accountable. Does my boss think he's God? No. My boss is a decent man. I like him. We get along great. Now, hierarchy also exists in a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
The husband is in charge. He has responsibility. He has the authority to rule over his wife. The Bible actually says so. This is just traditional Christian theology. And a husband who is a patriarch in no way thinks he's God. Now, this kind of twisted thinking is what women can take and run with it to promote egalitarianism.
Yes,
and I'm having none of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And remember that based on the hierarchy, based on God's hierarchy, right? It's first God, then a man, then a woman. So a woman is accountable to her man. He's not accountable to her. He's accountable to God. Well, and to other men, maybe like to some extent, because we are in a society, right? But he's not accountable to her. So he can absolutely hold her accountable, and he can impose, and he should impose discipline and restraint on her. It's only biblical. I mean,
if he wrongly holds her accountable and is too aggressive, he is accountable to God for what he does with his wife. So he's not God there because he's still accountable to a higher authority. If my boss, disciplining me, oversteps his bounds, does something unreasonable, I can go to his boss and say, hey, this was over the top. This was not right. Okay, so my boss is still accountable. This is life. Come on. Get
Okay,
used to
well,
it.
very
So
new.
women need to understand this, and men need to stop giving women excuses to not understand.
Exactly. Okay, so here's I think this is our final comment for that we are going to react to, and then we will probably wrap it up. I have more videos for you guys that we can cover next week. Okay, so here he says actions do have consequences. Your monarch philosophy makes you weak. Boom,
cares?
Nick.
Who cares? Whatever.
Weak in the eyes of what? Women?
Yeah, I don't care. All right. Next.
I don't even understand. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, well, women would say that, well, but how about we are equal, right? Everyone should be accountable to God. And like, if you see even the preachers, female preachers, they say that, well, you are accountable to God, ladies. I'm like, you are violating God's design and hierarchy already in what you're saying. You're just promoting more egalitarian BS. She's not accountable to God. She can't go to God, and Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a Bible guru here. She can't go to God directly. She can't even find God without her man.
No, she can pray to God directly.
Well, she can pray
She's
to God
loyal to
directly, but
Christ.
it's not like
She
it-
can.
it's like they it almost feels like they are trying to bypass the man to reach to God directly, and then like, okay,
There's
everything
no
I do
problem
is
with
to
just say a normal Christian woman, right? They can pray to God. They can have saving faith in the Lord Jesus Christ apart from her husband. In fact, it happened in the Bible at times. I mean, um, it's okay. That does happen. Generally, the natural order of things is usually a husband does lead his wife into the faith, or she grew up under the faith of her father, and he taught her as a child, and the mother is probably involved and helped raise them and taught them things about God and the Bible. I mean, it's
yeah, but then these girls raised to be like, okay, my traditional parents taught me the godly ways, like in the case of your ex-wife even, right? She was raised in a Christian family. They taught her all of the proper things, but then she still rebelled against male authority. She still rebelled
Yeah.
against your husband.
yeah.
This
It's
is
an
why I'm
abomination.
inclined
It's
to think
contrary to
that
Scripture.
I'm
It's
inclined to
contrary
think
to
that
Scripture.
without your man, it's like, okay, your father can teach you some moral principles, right, that you can abide by until you meet your husband. This is why in the wedding ceremony he was holding your hand, and then he was passing your
Yeah.
hand onto your husband's hand, right? He was transitioning his authority over her to your husband, who
Right.
should have the natural and legal authority over her.
But no, they bought into complementarianism now, which is fine for a father-daughter relationship. But don't you know, you don't really have that authority over her. You just have the tie-breaking decision, and you just need to lead her in the way that she wants, and that you really can't just tell her that she needs to obey you.
Now she has
That's
to
not what
obey
that's
him if
not what
she
obedience means.
yeah.
That's not what obedience means. It doesn't mean you have to obey.
No, but if
Submission
you
doesn't mean
say
she
the
actually
vows,
has to
if you say the
submit.
vows, okay, this is the problem where I'm having with women, like, okay, you say the vows to this man, you agree to be with him in richness, in poor, and like whatever the vows say, right? And
Yeah.
then the moment when he is trying to lead you, right, when he tells you, no, you can't do this, no, because he's the head of the household, right, he's in charge. And she says, like, no, I don't want that. I didn't sign up for it. But these were your vows that you just said during the wedding ceremony. What's wrong with you?
Well,
She's a liar.
she felt that she wanted to take those vows at the time, and now she feels differently.
I don't
So
care.
based
The
on her
vows are
current
said.
feelings, those previous vows are no longer valid.
Well, and see, if your husband doesn't hold you accountable for your vows, if our society doesn't hold you accountable for your vows, who will? She said
No
them in
one.
the eyes of God, so like she is to be with this man till death them apart, right?
No.
And what
Society is governed by a woman's feelings right now.
I know. This is why women shouldn't be in charge. This is why the divorce rates are what they are and the marriage collapses, because marriage causes divorce, not other way around. In order to divorce you, you have to get married first. Men realize that this is just, marriage equals divorce, and it doesn't end well for them because they have zero authority. The moment he puts a ring on her finger, he gives up his natural authority to her. Because even
That's
her
why it
vows,
takes
we
a
can't hold you.
dictator to restrain woman.
We can't even hold you accountable to her own vows that she gave him during the wedding ceremony.
That's why you just have to be a dictator, anyways.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Because she'll accuse you of that, anyways.
Oh, bare minimum
Even if you're
says
not.
road signs are his authority. No.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
No. Adam, the first man, was created. God gave him dominion. Okay, there's his authority.
There's zero moral authority above my own. Oh, so he is his own
There's zero more authority
okay.
above my own. The monarch, Bill Bros, have 1,000 of moral authority.
Mortal authorities.
Oh,
No.
so he is his own. He is his own monarch. There you go.
Well,
He is
isn't
a
it like
monarch,
Nietzsche?
and he's accountable. Every
He's like the
monarch
Ubermensch.
is accountable to God. And you know what? There have been earthly kings. But who is the King of Kings, Nick?
The Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh, man, that seems like a simple accountability and authority.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to make it more complicated than that?
No. It's the fool that says there is no God. Yep.
Well, and then
Alright.
even in that case, if
bring
you
this
are
to
your
a
own,
close, I think.
if you are your own God, then why can't you discipline your wife? I mean,
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we are done here. It was a fun one. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Steve. For the topic. Tell us what you think, guys. Leave us a comment. And what are you doing on Wednesday?
Well, if it's me again, I'll probably be doing marriage for men. It's male concubinage. Marriage is male concubinage.
Okay, marriage is male concubinage. So come join the Resurgence of Sanity on Wednesday at 5:45 p.m. Pacific for Marriage is Male Concubinage, led by our Pastor Barnes. And we'll see you all next time, guys. Take care, everyone. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll see you on Wednesday. Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Guys, thank you so much for being here with us today. If you are new here or if you're a returning subscriber, we appreciate you. Have you watched Anita Mokiet's saga by me, your Red Pill Babushka? If you haven't yet, we highly recommend you to watch this mini-series to better understand women, how they think and how they manipulate men. Anita Mokiet's saga is a comic parody of female nature and female behavior that includes Anita's adventures, her special and unique experiences, and various interactions with other funny characters. I created Anita to pick on female delusions, entitlement and promiscuity, and to show the reality of corrupted by women institutions. The first season shows the process of finding herself through self-worth, self-love and self-respect meditation retreats and relationship sessions with various female gurus. The second season reveals her godly path to Jesus and her true power over men, femininity.
Hi, I'm Anita Mokets. I used to be on OnlyFans, but not anymore. Not after I found Jesus. I'm a trad wife now. I love Jesus. I'm not a feminist. I want a perfect husband with kids because now I feel that it's my true purpose in life to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. Because I deserve a family. I want to be married to the right man. So join our church and wife me up.
I will actually plug Plutarch's wife here. Watch her Anita Moorcat series on just talking about she gives these like acting. She takes on many faces and shows the reality of the church and trying to get men to buy into this traditional tradcon bullshit on wifing up all these fucked up women. There is a large amount of truth in her comedic series that I think men should watch.
I hope that you enjoy our videos. Please tell us what you think about them. We appreciate your feedback. Also, please like the videos. It helps us to build more awareness. And share our videos with your friends and those who need to see them. You never know, but you may save a man's life if he is more aware of female nature. You don't have to say anything when you are sharing our videos. You can just copy and paste them and let the chips fall where they may. Please watch our older live streams on both YouTube channels. You might also enjoy Marry Me Red Pill podcast by your Red Pill Babushka, based on the survey for biological men. It's an ongoing survey that you can participate in. Please share it with other men. The more men participate in this survey, the more statistically significant the results are. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels if you enjoy our content and if you'd like to see more content like this. Join us for interesting discussions with the Resurgence of Sanity guys on Saturdays at 9:15 a.m. Pacific on sBarre YouTube channel and on Wednesdays at 5:45 p.m. Pacific on the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel. Once again, thank you so much for joining us for interesting discussions. Thank you for your feedback and for your kind support. We appreciate you guys. We are looking forward to seeing you in our other activities as well. Take care everyone and have a wonderful day.